I'm really excited about our partnership. Illumio, clearly the leader in microsegmentation and bringing zero trust to reality, and Firemon, who's been leading policy management for the last 25 years. I see incredible potential with this partnership, and I think one of the challenges, I'll highlight two, and I'd love to get your take. Two of the challenges that I think we can help solve together is implementing zero trust. It's very rare that we get a chance to do it in a greenfield environment where nothing else exists. We're just coming in and we're going to do it right from the start. Instead, the largest enterprises in the world have long histories of networks and architectures that are in place that need to stay in place as we make this transition. And so being able to bridge this gap between an Illumio policy that's very much about tags, being able to say that this asset, because of its business purpose, should be able to talk to this asset because of its business purpose. It's hard to bridge that gap to the IPs that the firewall understands. But as Firemon has integrated with Illumio, we are that bridge. We understand the traditional network architecture and the traditional firewall policies, and through this partnership we now understand the Illumio policy. I think we can help bridge that gap, which should help accelerate adoption of these zero trust technologies. And the second is compliance. As powerful as Illumio is, or any zero trust solution is, back to what you said, it's only implementing the policy of which you apply it.
Right.
So if you implement a policy that says allow all web servers to do anything and anything to do it, come to the web servers, you haven't secured anything. You might have a zero trust policy, it's just a really, really bad policy. So policy still becomes foundational to making it effective. And so our ability to bring that same policy analysis and compliance capabilities to Illumio, I think, is going to be game changing for our shared customers. I'd love to get your take. What do you see as the real opportunity as we come together?
Well, I fully agree with what you've said, because we have a really innovative way of creating policy for whether a packet is allowed or denied. And policy is binary. All you can do is allow it or deny it, right? And so we have a very unique way. We use what's called AI security graphs, or Euler graphs. And so we have a graph database that's non-linear, like the linear firewalls where, hey, first hit policy, that rule it hit, we're just going to stop looking to see if that was the best rule. We don't ask that question. We show exactly what's connecting and what's allowed, what's denied, and what doesn't have policy. And being able to transfer that information over to a traditional firewall is going to be huge, because linear firewall policy is problematic and it's so complex that you can't ever fix it, right? So, I've done firewall auditing, manual firewall auditing in my life, and it is horrible. Right? And you're just going through, and you can get through 5 rules a day, and you're like, why is this thing talking to this? And trying to figure out, has anybody touched this rule in the last year? Right? You don't, and then you're going, well, there's no logging here, and so all that kind of stuff is going to be important. One of the things that inspired me was the movie The Imitation Game, about breaking the Nazi Enigma code. Yeah. Alan Turing building an analog computer called the Bomba. And I got to go to Bletchley Park last year and give my speech, Win the Cyber War on Zero Trust. Because in that movie he said something really profound. He said, what if only a machine can defeat another machine? And our attackers, they're machines. They're highly automated. They don't have change control. We're much more manual. We have the ability, though, this is the start of building the machine that defeats the machine, in my opinion, right? Where we can automate all this stuff, and we can say, hey, this bad thing is happening, change this firewall policy on this other firewall out here, because we're seeing it internally, and that should never happen, right? There should never be an unknown server coming from the public internet that we don't know what it is, on an unknown IP address, coming in and trying to get access to this resource. That should never happen, right? And too often that happens in this world. I was once at a state government, and I was watching all of their financial data from their state go out to an IP address, and I just did an NS lookup, and it was a Ukrainian IP address. Well, that can't be good, because I don't see that you guys have any business with Ukraine. And the guy goes, yeah, they've just hacked us, and they're exfilling all our data. Okay, let's shut it down. Well, I'm not allowed to. What are you allowed to do? And he pulls out a piece of paper. I get to fill out this form now.
Oh, no.
You know, it's over by the time the form is filled out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
This stuff happens so fast. One of my friends who's an ex-military guy, he calls it speed to bad. The speed to bad is so fast that we have to be able to automate in real time based upon the context of what we're seeing in the telemetry.
Yeah.
And the more telemetry that we can have, and having that enriched by Firemon is going to be huge for Illumio.